One of the things that happens to men when they truly encounter God is that something happens to their name. What is your name? Not what do you want. Jacob, the problem with you has to do with your name. What is your name? Have you been given a name from the Spirit? And he said, no, my name is Jacob. See, I don't care whether his name was goodness. The name would still have been changed. It's not because he's a cheat and a supplanter. No. Selman means the way to love. Is that not a nice name? Who would not want to give a child a nice name like that? God said, what are you talking about? Let's talk about destiny. Destiny. You carry the name, you carry the office, you carry the crown, you carry the scepter. Every man of God that has ever prophesied to me that didn't know my name never called me my biological name. Never. Not once. I remember one time I met a dear man of God. He's now a dear friend somewhere, and he was speaking and he looked at, in fact, not even, I remember a time, I think we were going to, was it Benin Republic? I think, I can't remember now. Benin Republic for a program, and we were there. You know all these guys that use divination, that can stand in the market and start prophesying to you. Remember? They were trying to clear our passport at customs and all of that. And then I stood close and he looked at me and said, Joshua, said, you see this guy? He has seen something in the spirit. Read your Bible. Jesus was the man, because there was no power in that name. No, there was no power in that name, Jesus. No. You call him Jesus, say, how are you? There's food for you. So you will be surprised that many of you have been having dreams, and in those dreams certain names are called you by spiritual forces. They call you names, and you think maybe they are talking about Bible actors somewhere. Why are you is it that you don't know my name? I will never forget one time I was having a dream, very prophetic dream. I think I wrote it, I can't remember, I can't even pronounce it well. It was a name that was called, and it was an angel of the Lord who was calling God a name. I checked the Bible, I didn't find that name anywhere, but it was a name like tongues, a long name. What is this? I thought it was Greek. Let me tell you, I studied the Bible very, very well. I'm not a lazy person. I checked it, checked lexicon, checked everything. I just saw some nonsense started coming out, part rubbish, some of these zodiac things. I said, no. I checked it very well. I said, but what is this name? Very long name that was called. If someone introduces that name now, that person is going to be in trouble. What name? Which one? He is called what? What name? No. But the Bible says there is a marvelous light allocated for a generation. We thank God for what they did. The goal of studying the Bible is not just to stop there. The goal of studying the Bible is to understand God's character, and by his spirit continue. What we are living now is being recorded in heaven. It will be read, and there are people who will learn from it. It's not just because there is no spiritual archaeology, right? No. In the heavens, one day you will read. There are gifts of the spirit you see operate here. You may not find them exactly. You can just relate them with one that is close to them. I told you the gifts of the spirit are not 9. They are as unlimited as the spirit himself. Theologically and for the purpose of spiritual administration, we focus there, but they are not 9 gifts of the spirit. There are dimensions that the evil in this day requires. The evil in the then day did not require some of these dimensions, so they were sealed and left for our generation. Are we together? The level of deception in our generation is too high. There are other gifts that must be opened. People go for war and they hide different sets of weapons based on the attack. There are times that when the aggression gets bad, all nations of the world have certain weapons that no other nation has seen. Some are hiding it in the sea, some are hiding it somewhere. When the going gets tough, then they will bring out those arsenals. That's how it is spiritually. Why am I saying this to us? Listen carefully. You will find yourself walking in very deep spiritual dimensions that if you are not guided, you may think it is occult or it is witchcraft, and you will throw away the dealings of the spirit just because it is strange. Now you must be guided, don't get me wrong. Don't dabble into all kinds of spiritual things and destroy yourself. But many people have just camped around the stories of the past. Wonderful. But brothers and sisters, there is what God is doing, and the Bible says that we are a chosen generation, we are a royal priesthood, a holy nation. Hold on, who was saying this? Who was saying this? Do you know who was saying this? This was Peter the apostle saying, but ye. Who was he talking to? That means he was not there. But you. Read it now. Did you learn? It didn't say but we. But you, the people I'm talking to, you are a chosen generation. I'm not in your generation. Revelations, let's go to the Bible. Let's go to the Bible. Revelation chapter 5. Revelation chapter 5. Please sit down. Revelation chapter 5. Is God helping us tonight? See, sometimes God just disorganizes me like this. Revelation chapter 5. Let me show you something. Let's read from verse 8. From verse 8 to 10. Now, look at this. And when he had taken the book, the 4 beasts and the 24 elders fell down before the Lamb. So the 4 living creatures, 24 elders. Are we together? The Bible says they fell down before who? The Lamb, having every one of them harps and golden vials full of odors, which are the prayers of the saints. Verse 9. And they sung a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book and to open its seals, for thou wast slain and had redeemed the word. Us, there's an error. The 24 elders and the 4 living creatures are not part of the redeemed. The word there is redeem them unto God by thy blood out of every kindred, talking about inhabitants on the earth, out of every tongue and people and nation. Verse 10. And has made them, not us. You see the mistake again in translation. And has made them unto our God kings and priests, and they shall reign. The 24 elders don't reign on earth. Come on now, talk to me. The 4 living creatures don't reign on earth. They are in the throne room. They minister to God. Translators messed up some of these things, and if you don't read by the Spirit, you will just gather all kinds of things. The Bible says we have been made unto our God kings and priests, and the domain of our legislation is on earth, that we shall reign on earth. Now watch this. Imagine with me that one of the 24 elders was reading this thing. Of course you will know it's not them. It can't be talking about them, and they'll be wondering what generation, because they themselves don't know everything. Nobody in heaven knows everything except God. They see in parts too, and so they'll be wondering, which generation is this going to be fulfilled in? And all of a sudden a generation comes. Brothers and sisters, listen, let me tell you, there are things that will happen in our generation that have not happened before. They will not be error because they have been written. It is whatever was not prophesied and is done that is error. You see that? That it has not been done doesn't mean it has not been said. There are things that will happen. The coming of Jesus has not happened. Everyone who wrote it has gone to be with the Lord, and yet it has not happened. But we know, and nobody will argue that it will happen because it has been prophesied. So also, like the coming of Jesus, there are many other things that are being written.